Hey, what's going on? I hope you're having a phenomenal day because I am definitely not. So here's to me hoping just a little bit that maybe luck and happiness and all of that is equally dispersed amongst all of us because I know I'm not getting my fair share today. And it's on that exact note that I want to talk about a little bit of a new direction that I want to bring some of these daily updates. I want to treat it somewhat as a daily degen trading update journal type of vibe. I want to give you my thoughts and feelings of every single day, what I saw in the market, what I did, how I handled it, and all of that good jazz. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because Friday, I had a horrible loss. Coming into Friday, my trading account year to date was up 200%. After Friday, it was only up 100%. And yeah, I don't want to complain that I'm only up 100%, but that is very bad to lose 50% at any given time. And then of course, my first day back on the horse, the day that I decide I'm going to be as public as I possibly can in these video updates for my daily trading journal, I take another loss. And it was a very unfortunate loss. So I want to break all this down, not only to show you what life is like actually trading, but to also hold myself a little bit more accountable. On top of that, I'm also always going to break down the major trending news of the day. In this particular video, we're talking about how Bitcoin hit a new all-time high and it looks like it's going to rip even more. So I'm going to be breaking down exactly why that happened and what to look for next. And I also want to give you a heads up for the major things going down for the remainder of this week. Specifically tomorrow, we got some big reports, so I want to explain all of that as well. Now, if you're interested in this type of stuff, obviously, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. With that being said, let's rock. By the time the closing bell went dingity ding 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 today, Monday, March the 11th, to kick off a brand new week, the S&P 500 closes lower for a second session as tech-fueled rally cools. I'm going to be getting into that, but before we get there, I want to be as transparent as I possibly can and hop into how I blew up half of my profits on the year. Friday, I want to do a bit of a review. Yeah, I could have reviewed it on Friday. Yeah, I could have reviewed over the weekend. To be completely honest, I was upset. I was sad. I wasn't depressed, but I was getting there because no one wants to lose that much money in one day when you break every single trading rule. So first, let me break down what in the world happened then. Let me break down what happened today, and I want to explain a little bit of the stuff as I move forward. Every single statistical, analytical breakdown I know of the market when we open this strong, this high, and start to push says it's most likely going to be a bullish day. The odds are high, but they're not guaranteed, and that's exactly what got me. So I put on a lot of bullish bets. I sold a lot of put premium. I'm a big credit seller. If you want to know what that advanced options trading strategy is all about, that's exactly what the Discord is. Join up. The first month is free. Use the code Goonie. But anyway, that's not the purpose of this. When it started to dip right in this region around noon, your boy started to sweat. My knuckles started to turn white as I was holding onto this roller coaster. And on this little bounce, I thought, you know what? The market gods they're gonna smile upon me. And we're gonna come back up and I'm gonna be A-okay. So I doubled down on the position. And then it vomited. And it vomited really hard. So down here, actually, as it was falling, I should have cut the position. I hit my max loss for the overall account size, should have cut it. But I kept thinking to myself, no, the odds are really high. And that's the issue. When you're a human trading a robot system, robots understand that really high does not mean guaranteed. But in my stupid little monkey brain, I thought,
okay, the odds are really high, so that is basically guaranteed, so of course it's gonna work out for you.
So it got lower and lower and lower. So I already had a bad position. I doubled down on the bad position. And now I'm forced to either be smart and cut everything, which I should have done, but no. I'm the dumb little monkey brain. I quadrupled down, and you can see how the day ended right here. Pretty freaking low, which means they all blew out. I broke every single rule, and I cannot articulate how incredibly frustrating that is when you know better. I know the stats. I know how to handle it. I know everything I should do. I just didn't do it because I'm undisciplined. And I guarantee you this, folks, when you learn what you need to about the market, which I would argue is like not really that difficult, the biggest battle you're going to have is with discipline. I've been trading for over a decade. I am very well versed in the realm of trading with the odds at your back when waiting for the deck to be stacked in your favor. And yet my lack of discipline cost me, and it cost me dearly, basically giving back the past 4 to 5 weeks worth of gains, all in one stupid move. So over the weekend, when I was all sad and upset and not depressed, but like I said, getting there, I thought to myself, okay, let's gain that monk-like discipline. Let's start making a video series where you tell everyone how good you are at trading and you could tell the market to go F itself. That was my mindset today. I got up at the crack of dawn. I was stepping stairs like no other. I was getting my sweat on. I was proverbially crushing it. So, market opens up weak. We start to vomit once again. I have my handy dandy little trading journal right here. I know all the stats back for the past 2 decades. This is telling me there's a real good shot we are not going much higher. And guess what? Right around 3, we went to the point where I was feeling the pressure. If I held to the end of the day, I would have had 100% profit. If I had the same degenerate mindset I had a mere 1 trading day ago, I'd be at 100% profit. I would have made about $3,000 today. Instead, I had about a $3,000 loss because when it got there, all I could think is, Matt, you're monk Matt now. So that means you got to be disciplined. You hit your risk. You promised yourself you would cut it. So I cut it. And it's one of these weird situations where I would actually classify this losing trade as a good trade, where historically I've had some winning trades that were actually bad trades. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but just because you make money doesn't make it a good trade. Just because you lose money doesn't make it a bad trade. There is a sense of randomness and just crazy stuff can happen in the market. So this one, yes, I lost money. After one of my biggest losses in a while, the next day back when I wanted to be disciplined, I was disciplined, but that discipline ended up making it so I could have had 100% profit, but it also protected me from, if the market kept ripping, I would have had 2 massive losses back to back. So I know that's a little bit confusing, but if you think about it, sometimes a losing trade isn't necessarily a bad trade, and that's what I had right now. So on the day, about a $3,000 loss, about giving roughly 10% of the account back, which is within my system's risk parameters, and I could explain that all in future videos, but I just want to be do this video journal type thing, explaining when I'm getting in, explaining when I'm getting out, and what's running through my mind. Because I think in this world of retail trading, there's so many gurus and furus that are so magically profitable every single day. If you ask them whatever they're doing any single day, making money, they apparently never lose. But it's strange because the literal best traders in the world, hedge funds, HFTs, quant funds, they have about 50% accuracy. So you're telling me the people who do this professionally 100% of the time have about a 50% accuracy, but then some random kid who got an Instagram and rented a Lambo knows what he's doing 100%? It doesn't really add up. So really, not only to keep myself accountable here, knowing that I'm going to make these videos, I also just want to shed a little bit of light on the reality of what the market actually is and what the market isn't. I hope that makes sense. The SPY, the Qs, both slight red days. Semiconductors tracked by the ETF SMH, a little bit of a rough day. And then Bitcoin, like I said, hitting a new all-time high. And that's exactly where I want to take off. Bitcoin rises to another record. Ether breaks through 4,000 as well. In fact, Bitcoin's ripping so much, Bitcoin's market cap jumps to 1.4 trillion, surpassing silver. So right now, in real time, Bitcoin is trading at 72.2 thousand, market cap of 1.4 trillion, which means all of crypto has a market cap of 2.7 trillion. It is rippity skippity doodah. I hope you're not missing out. And I also want to share some thoughts on why this happened and why I think Bitcoin's going to be going up even more. It, of course, always boils down to supply and demand. If there's more demand than there is supply, price goes up. The crossover of those two, the equilibrium, is the price. But why was there more demand than supply today? Couple of reasons. Bitcoin jumps over 71,000 as UK's FCA lets institutional investors create crypto ETNs. The leading cryptocurrency had crossed 70,000 for the first time ever last week. And part of the reason is because the UK's FCA removed objections to the crypto-based ETN's exchange-traded note, opening the gates for more institutional involvement in crypto. So similar to the US, there's more regulatory clarity and more now highway on-ramps in the UK. So similar situation there, but that wasn't the only thing. Bernstein is now more convinced that Bitcoin will hit 150,000 after massive rally. Spot Bitcoin ETF inflows have surpassed expectations. So this brokerage just coming out with a pretty positive analyst price target, obviously citing the massive multi-billion dollars worth of inflows into the spot ETFs here in the US. that wasn't the only thing. Bitcoin price rise leads to increased mining and greater energy use, driving up the cost of energy, causing inflation to rise and the dollar to decline, driving demand for Bitcoin and increasing mining, driving demand for energy, and the cycle continues. Bitcoin goes to infinity, energy prices skyrocket, and the economy collapses. Maybe I should buy some Bitcoin. We have Ackman getting into the game, but surprise, surprise, doesn't stop there. Obviously, massive volume being traded, massive amount of assets under management. Just every single week, we're hitting a new high in all these new approved spot Bitcoin ETFs. You have all that going on. And then just the lead orange pillar of them all, Michael Saylor, announcing that MicroStrategy bought an additional 12,000 Bitcoin for about 820 million. As of market open today, before this news broke, everyone's saying, uh-oh, BlackRock, their spot ETF, about to surpass MicroStrategy and the amount of Bitcoin that they hold. And then we got this, and MicroStrategy's like, nah, honey, we're buying more and more and more, and we're not afraid to keep doing it. So that's the craziness in Bitcoin. That's why there was so much demand today. But overall, I think this can keep going because this type of vibe, this type of excitement and fervor and FOMO is just going to represent more demand. And because we know supply is limited, price keeps going up. And if you really wanted a prediction, and obviously take this with a grain of salt, I think there's going to be clear skies ahead all the way up to the halving event in mid-April. For me, I'm not really an active trader of it. I'm looking multi-decades down the line, but in the short term, I know you D-gens watching this might be a little bit curious of how things play out over the next couple weeks. So just something to consider. Another thing you should consider is the craziness going down tomorrow, Tuesday, March 12th. 8:30 a.m. ET, an hour before the market opens, we get the CPI report, the Consumer Price Index. This is one of the most popular measures of inflation. They're expecting 3.1% year over year. That's a line in the sand. That's the number you should be listening for to know if we're above it or below it. You don't want inflation to be hot because that means that the Fed's not doing their job. If anything, you want it to come in cool. I also want to throw out there that at 1 p.m. we get the results of the 10-year note auction. That's probably going to be important. So set an alarm, mark your calendar, do whatever you need to do for 1 p.m. ET. So inflation report before the market opens, Treasury auction results at 1 p.m. But coming back to the CPI report, a lot of people ask me, okay, Mr. Math Stat Man, what can you tell us about the CPI days? And I actually have something interesting to share with you right here. All these white vertical lines, they are the results of the previous 10 CPI days. If you break it down, I do have some interesting math. 50-50. 5 of these days were red days, 5 of these days were green days. So if you want to know which way tomorrow's going to go get yourself a lucky quarter and flip it. Now, I know for those of you that might not be the most exciting information, so I did find out another stat. I looked at the difference between market close, where we are when I'm filming this, and market open the day the CPI is reported. So just market close the day before, market open the day of the CPI report. Get this, 9 out of the last 10 were gap ups. The market opened higher than the previous close. So I can't give you any interesting stats, facts, or figures for the actual day because it's about 50-50. But in terms of market open relative to market close, yeah, no. Feels like the odds are very high for the bulls in this overnight and early morning session. So I just want to leave you with all of that. Now, obviously, if you want to follow ahead with the Degenerate Trading Journal and Journey and see if I can recover this money, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to be a member of the Goonie Discord, which is basically just the best trading community in all of the interwebs, sign up below. It's free if you use the code Goonie. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate your time. I'll catch you in the next one.
Peace out.